Welcome to the Voice of Africa today. Today we have a very special guest with us that goes by the name of Miss Denise Cortes-Keyser. Thank you, Miss Denise, for coming on our platform today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
No problem. Can you please talk about your early days as a youth in Mozambique?
Okay, first, my name is Denise Cortes-Keyser. I'm Mozambican. I'm an entrepreneur, business person. I'm a former vice president of Mozambique Football Federation. I'm a business advisor for international and local companies, and I'm really passionate about sports, and I'm a sports addicted person. If I have to describe myself as a young Denise, I would say that I was always focused on what I want. People may call it stubborn, but I will say focus. So focus means that I always knew that what I wanted to be, and I always knew that I wanted to have impact. Right. Doesn't matter in which area I am, I want to impact people and leave a legacy. So that was my motto for whatever I did in life and whatever I want to do. Still, I want to have impact. I want to leave a legacy. That's why I keep moving and I remain focused.
Right. And you mentioned, you had, that strive as a young kid. Were there any role models or mentors that you had that you can confide in his or her process growing up?
My role models when I was growing up was, I grew up in the area of Graça Machel, Dr. Luisa Diogo, which was our first female prime minister and minister of finance. I admired also Margaret Thatcher, and other women that I thought that they were really, really impactful. There is a story also of a queen, local queen was Nsai. And there's these stories of women that had to fight for life and to become independent, to be powerful, to be people of impact. And I always admired them. And while I was growing up, I always admired Angela Merkel, Christine Lagarde. So this type of people, I think that I was always passionate about numbers. So it means that I started admiring women that deal with numbers. So for me, it's very important to have role models. Otherwise, you don't have any example of something that you really want to do. And you don't know exactly which steps you need to avoid or which steps you need to take for you to reach where you want to be.
So how have your personal experiences shaped the way you approach your job or job acquisition? I know you mentioned that you really like numbers. Is there a particular reason why or a fond memory as to why you got so involved in that?
In my career, I started as an auditor. So because my background is accounting, I did accounting. I'm a certified accountant. I studied management and then did my master's degree in corporate finance. For me, numbers they shape the world. Life starts with numbers and ends with numbers. Right. I saw in the movie Godfather. And for me, it's real because we start with the number, and it's real that we need to keep moving with numbers. And every day you are, multiplying or dividing or subtracting or adding something. And whatever you had will have impact in the numbers that you produce for you to remain alive and live with dignity. And for me, the fact that we need to be focused on the numbers and see if the numbers make sense. And I know that when we analyze things, we call it, sometimes you need to see other events that impact numbers. But the main focus will always be which result you're going to get. And if the result doesn't make sense, means that you did something on the way to your goal. And for me, looking at the numbers and working with numbers made me remain very focused on my goals. And I know that sometimes I'm less emotional, which my mom was used to say that you were supposed to be a boy. But I said, no, instead of being a boy, I'm a very strong woman. So it means that I believe that sometimes people underestimate the power of women, and they underestimate the power of numbers. And women love numbers, and I am one of them loving numbers.
Well, thank you for touching on that subject as well. And I think that's something that's really ingrained into our society, or our culture as Africans, is to attribute a strong woman into being like a man or something. It's okay for women to be strong women at the end of the day, because
Definitely.
yeah, and a lot of women are strong. I think that women are, especially when it comes to mentally, way stronger than men at the end of the day. So we have to really give them that props for that as well. So thank you for touching on that. So,
Definitely.
as an entrepreneur, motivational speaker, finance and investment advisor, founder, and the SVP of, a football federation, how do you manage your time and energy between these roles?
For me, it's I think that one of the things that really helped me is to remain focused. So it means that when I leave home, I switch off home. Definitely. And my kids know mom switched off. And I always remind, yeah, because if I don't switch off, I'll be unfocused, and I'll just start thinking, I wish I could be at home. I wish no, I don't want to wish I could. I'm where I am, and where I am is where things should happen, and is where I have to have impact, that I have to deliver work. Right. So that discipline helped me to always divide. I have mentally, I built, I call it sections. I have sections: my kids, the house, my personal life, work, career, finance, my relatives. So I divide and I don't mix, because if you start mixing and you start getting unfocused, and you end up not doing nothing. Because remember, if you try to do everything at once, you will end up not doing nothing at all. And even you can do, but without quality. So that discipline helped me a lot to focus and educate my kids to be very rational. I'm not saying that there's lack of emotions, but I'm saying that while you do something, just keep, that nini style, a little bit out. Right. So you can deliver with quality, you can deliver with excellence, and then you move to the next step. So then you can go back to where your emotions are, and then put it there, and then move forward to the next step. So that was the way it helped me to reach all my goals. And for example, for football, soccer, I played football in the past, and I always thought that one day I want to contribute to football, but in a way that it will bring something different. It will have impact. And when I received the invitation from the former president of the Mozambique Football Federation saying, would you like to join our list for us to be candidates? I said, why not? At first, I was a little bit scared, but I said, okay, why not, Denise? In the past, you were able to manage the biggest business association in Mozambique, and I was in my early 30s. And in a time when women were not in that section of the economy, because women were seen as the business in the kitchen. So cooking, flowers, delivering decoration. And I said, well, I don't want to be there. I want to be in the place where the economy happens, in the place where decisions are taken, in the place where you have impact, in the place where you can shake the economy and bring something different. And when I joined the association, business association, this one that is the biggest in Mozambique, and people started saying, can she deliver? Because I was small and I was skinny and I didn't know exactly what to do. But I said, Denise, you can do it. You can do it. And even when I didn't know how to do it, I went home and I was studying all night long until I was able to deliver. So that thing, the focus on quality and excellence, made a difference in the work that I always forced myself to deliver. So because sometimes you don't feel like you want to do it, but you need to know that whatever you do, you are leaving a signature there. And if your signature is shaking, and means that you are not sure that if you are signing or not. But remember, the name that is there is yours. Right. So please make sure that you deliver with quality, because when you die, or when you leave this world, or when you move to the next career project, everyone will say that person was here. And that thought always kept me focused on dates, deadlines, quality, excellence, move forward, because I like to have impact in different areas. So I'm always moving forward, because I deliver and then I go to the next one. I deliver and I go to the next one, because you need to build a succession plan. You need to build people that are able to move forward, to keep moving, to make things happen as well. That's why we need to be able to share knowledge. And I'm a very much person. I would say, a person that wants to share. I love to share my knowledge, because I believe that as much as you share in terms of knowledge, you learn more, because you empower the other person to share what they have, to share who they are, to share their knowledge. And then you become richer and richer, because you start learning. Because the wealth doesn't mean only counting money at the bank. Wealth means which impact you have in people's life. Right. How do you deliver the work that you do, and which balance you have, because you need to combine also not just work and money, but also impact. And then how you keep the ones that are most important to you happy. And for me, it's my family. If by the end of the day, if I can deliver to people outside home, my community, and I cannot deliver to my community, which is the people at home, I'm not doing nothing. And I think that most leaders, they fail in making their families part of their process, in making their families also proud of their achievements. And that's something that I really want to make sure that I deliver with quality, is to have my family proud of me.
Thank you. That was very information packed, and I think, the summary of that is it's important to leave a good legacy at the end of the day, no matter what field you are in, or no matter what project you're working on. And speaking of projects, what project have you worked on that you felt most passionate about and most enriched by? It sounds like every project that you do you are as passionate about, but has there been one particular one?
The project that really had impact first was the business association. Yes, had impact because I was participating in the discussions of all the legal framework that affects doing business in Mozambique, and discussion with the government and also other entities, donor funds, and so on. And for me, it was important because I was really there where decisions are taken, and where you discuss laws and how this is going to impact on a macroeconomic level and bring people to reality. And the second project was when I was managing a local remittance company here, which the aim was to have impact in the community. Because at the business association, I was here looking at the economy like this. And when you do local remittance and you have to work with the local communities at the country level, and then you just remove makeup and you remove all the earrings and rings, and you go basic, and you just put your sneakers and wear your jeans and a t-shirt, and you go to the community, you see other world, the world that people here don't see, because they just see the numbers and they believe that the numbers reflect real life. And when you go down to the community, you start seeing what is missing, and you understand the impact of $100 in people's lives. You understand that a family is really believing that they're going to generate some money so that they can send the kids to school. Sure. And this type of things started shaking my heart, because I said, no, God, I want to be here, to impact here, and make this one that is down come up. Because if we don't make wealth as something that you share, and then you are not wealthy at all.
Right.
You're just a person accumulating money and accumulating resources, and at the end of the day, you die empty. And I think that what is missing sometimes when you are here is for you to go a little bit down and see what is missing here. And then you just realize, okay, this and this and this and this and this is missing. So I can change my strategy here to have more impact and to reduce the gap between the poor and the rich, and reduce the gap in terms of education, health, and sanitation, and in terms of infrastructure, for us to understand what is missing, why this people is not moving from here to here, what I can do to build the bridge and reduce the distance between us. And I think that these two projects helped me to shape myself for what I'm doing now. Because sometimes people fail because they don't know the legislation in the country. They fail because they don't know where to go, where to get information. Sometimes they fail because they don't know which information is available. And how sometimes even the information is for free, but they don't even have access to internet. They don't even know how to research information. And these gaps between the people here and the people here is the one that makes sometimes countries poor, or entrepreneurs fail because they don't know where to go. They don't know how to do. They don't know if there's funds available. They don't know if there's opportunities available for business. They don't know how to approach a small, like a medium and large company to do business. They don't even know which database of suppliers they can register themselves for them to be qualified to do business. They don't even know how to get the qualifications for them to be there. And these things that I started noticing while I was here, and then I managed to come here and then go up again. This type of things made me realize that, Denise, you need to bring something. You need to build the bridge. Maybe you need to be the bridge. And how are you going to do that? And that thought started shaking me, and shakes up to now. And I really want not only Mozambique, but I also want Africa, because I just realized in the conversation with other people in the continent that that's not only a problem in my country. It's a general problem. It's an Africa problem. Africa needs information. Africa fails for lack of information, and Africa needs the chance to have access to information. So how do we do that? How do we build that? And that's a discussion that I hope Africans will start having regularly. How they start connecting each other, how they start supporting each other, how they start doing business with each other, so that the continent becomes richer, and we start benefiting from what we really are, because we are wealthy. This is a very wealthy continent. People just need to know how to access
That's
the resources.
Very true. So I guess that is why it is very important for you as a business leader to, participate in events such as the Legacy Global Summit. I know you were recently at the Gain Youth Summit, if I'm right.
Yes.
And the Mozambique Virtual Summit as well. So yeah, you pretty much answered my next question on why you do that, and we really thank you, as an African, to giving us these resources as well, and to ensuring that you are that bridge, and to making sure that the less fortunate is able to come closer to the more fortunate at the end of the day. Can you talk more about your passion for aiding young aspiring entrepreneurs and their endeavors towards success, and why is the process so vital?
I think that for many years I've been avoiding political discussions, because I always thought that politicians should do politics, and the business people should do business, and I should do my thing. And while I was growing up, and I just realized that politicians decide the way the economy will behave by creating the laws that will impact doing business. You cannot just avoid politics. Politics are there. And what I see is that our youth in Africa decided to be far from that side, because the youth want to have their life and so on. But then was what I said during GAIN event, saying that our freedom fighters are old now. Sooner or later, they will be replaced.
Right.
If our youth doesn't get involved in the politics and decisions and where the economy happen, if they're not there to say that this law doesn't benefit me, this law doesn't bring impact in the country, this law needs to change, we don't believe in this, we want that, the continent won't change. Everyone will come to the continent and take whatever they want, because we are not strong enough to say that we want something different.
Right.
And I always said that it shouldn't be in a disrespectful way, because one of the things that youth fail to do is respect authorities for them to get where they want to be. We don't need to fight with them. We just need to address the issues correctly and start having impact. If you put 10 people talking about the same thing in the same week, the ones that should listen, they will start thinking about it. And I think that youth should address the points in the right places. Doesn't need too much blah, blah, blah online, because when you start doing blah, blah, blah online, the only thing that you will get is one platform will not work in your country, another platform will not work in your country, and you just lose. You need to address. There's procedures, there's ways for you to address, and youth should address that. And young entrepreneurs, they need to start reading more. And if they start reading more, they will start learning more, and they will start deciding better, decide which business to go to, how to approach things, and how to move forward. And I believe in the power of youth. I believe that youth can decide the future. In the continent, youth is more than 70%. So anytime we want to change Africa, we have the power to change, and everyone is going to listen to us. So we just need to address the points correctly. And then the ones in power will understand that they are managing people, and they're managing people with ideas, people that have a will, people that know exactly what they want. And then in that day, youth will understand the power that they have in their hands. But everything starts with respect.
Right.
If youth don't understand the value of respect and discipline, they won't get what they want. And I think that this is one of the things that I speak when I'm talking to youth, is addressing these points for them to start understanding that diplomacy exists for a reason. And we need to learn how to be diplomatic when we approach sensitive issues. And then we need to understand exactly where that point is going to take us to if we follow the right path. And then I believe that youth can achieve whatever they want. That's my vision for Africa. And I believe that Africa has the power to change the world, right, depending on how our youth will address the things that disturb them.
Yeah, I definitely do agree with you on that as well, with the respect aspect, because, more times, especially my generation and maybe the generation lower than us, tend to not only maybe disrespect and, move so much out of emotions and maybe go irrationally. And it usually doesn't work because, we don't have the power to be able to do all that. So, being able to come together, like you said, and, speak on these issues might be, the key in bringing change at the end of the day. How do you use your position of power and a public figure to help create sustainable change on these issues?
I will change my the word power to influence, because power is very powerful word, and I will say, through the years, I need to change what I'm going to say. I said I never realized that I was influential until I started realizing that whatever I say, people start believing in. And then I think that I have built a name that comes with authority for certain subjects in my country, and also in the continent or outside the continent, because I think that authority and that influence can help change few things. In terms of local content, for example, that was one of the first topics that I started touching in Mozambique. It started when the country discovered this biggest reserve of gas in the world, and wherever you find oil and gas, you find people coming, and then people making plans, and they make plans, and they don't even consider the owners of the resources, because they believe that because they have the money that they are entitled to own it, and if you analyze Africa economic history, you will understand that the continent is divided into many pieces that pieces don't even belong to the Africans. And even if you think about local content, and if you analyze how much we really benefited from this local content, we will realize that nothing had impact. And if it had impact, was really little. And we see anytime the commodity prices in the international markets go down, you see economies shaking. You see Angola that had oil for many years, and now since crisis arrived, Angola was shaken. Mozambique was expecting gas, and then the economy was shaking, and then we are just like, wow. And then sometimes what happened is that the countries forget other resources, because they start relying so much on one, and they forget to develop the supply chain for that one to work, and also to serve other sectors of activity. And my thoughts when the local content started coming into my mind is how, as a country, we can structure ourselves to benefit from these resources and to start building wealth also to the community. Because, having investors coming and putting money, and then they come with double taxation agreements, they come with tax benefits. They know exactly how to negotiate, because they know that they're dealing with a country that has no experience in dealing with that type of contracts, that type of resources. And it made me realize that, Denise, you need to raise this subject. How are we going to do this? If we only develop manpower, this investor really interested in employing locals at high position levels, at the managerial position, or they just want to hire locals to make a number, to look like 90% locals, and then 10% they're the decision takers. And then I just realized, okay, what is missing? Okay, manufacturing. How do we industrialize the country? How do we speed up this? Which are the things we should push? And then when you start talking to youth, saying you want to be an entrepreneur, but instead of just be a trader, going to China and bring something to sell here, and then go to South Africa and bring something and sell here, what about start industrializing, start producing locally, start changing the paradigm? So this type of discussions is something that really shakes my world. And I'm really passionate about building a more sustainable country and a more sustainable Africa, because I believe that we can, yes. Another point that I'm really passionate about is leadership, because Africa sometimes fails because we forget to build leaders. I always say that since Mandela died, we felt like we are orphans, but that's not true. We have so many leaders, great leaders at different levels, people that have impact. What about bringing these examples, bringing these people to start, helping us admire more who we are? Because it's not only Mandela. We had other people. They're still alive. They're still talking. And we need to build the right platform for them to, to start communicating more at a global level.
Right.
to have impact in the Africans in the diaspora and then Africans in the continent. Start telling the world we are here, we know what we want. Whoever is coming to the continent, we know what we want. Please talk to us, and ask us what we want. Because one of the things that I also said is that we see US Africa Summit, UK Africa Summit, China Africa Summit, Russia Africa Summit. But we don't see Africa Summit because Africans don't speak.
Right.
We are so much entitled to say, okay, I speak Portuguese, you speak English, you speak French, you speak this, you speak that. So we don't understand culture, we don't understand the strategy. But what about us communicating? If you can understand Russia when they speak with us saying, what is their strategy for Africa? If we can understand US, why can't we understand each other? What is missing? And I think that Africans should start discussing what is missing. Business people should start sitting more to start checking synergies. Why do we build synergy with the Japanese company, with the Korean company, but we don't build synergies among each other? So this is what we should do to start building a more sustainable Africa. And I believe that these subjects are very important. And I wish, honestly, I wish Africans will start talking more with each other. It's not about color, it's not about culture, it's about us. The continent needs us, and we need to be able to talk. It's good that we saw Legacy Summit. Dr. Remy did a fantastic job. But we need to have more discussions like that one at different levels. That was a high level. We need to go to medium level. We need to go to a lower level. And we need to make Africans understand that no one is coming to save us. We need to save ourselves. We need to shake this continent. We need to change the mindset of the youth. We need to change the mindset of the leaders as well, because we cannot build a sustainable continent based on debt, based on getting loans all the time to pay expenses. We need to, if you take a loan, invest, but at least pay back. And then otherwise you will compromise the generations that are coming. And we need to change that. We need to stop that. That will suffocate the continent, and we need to work on that seriously. Not at the political levels only, but I think that also at the business level, youth level, even children should be educated. Financial education should be at schools. All schools should have financial education. Kids should be able to manage their money, to do the proper calculation. What is saving? What is not saving? What is investment? I think that type of education is missing, and we need to start shaping their minds now. Otherwise, they will continue doing our mistakes in the future, and then we won't see Africa shining. We will see Africa dark and darker, because that, as long as we keep asking for more money and giving our resources also almost for free, we won't see a brighter Africa. Even if we are proud of ourselves, that pride will be just coming out of our mouth and not coming from our heart.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very true as well. And I think the education is key at the end of the day, because we have our leaders now, and our leaders, will end up having offsprings that end up having kids, and their kids, unfortunately, might end up growing up the same way and be in the same positions that our leaders are now. So until we're able to educate our youth, I don't think we're going to get as far. So I definitely agree with you on that. And how can the Voice of Africa support your causes?
That question made me, when I saw that you sent me that question, I said, I need to know which synergies we can build. For me, it should be a win-win. I should be able to add value to Voice of Africa. At the same way, I want to Voice of Africa to add value in what I do. And I think that maybe analyzing the possibility of creating a program that we start creating content that will have impact in Africans, in the diaspora, in the continent, raising, I'm not saying political subjects, I'll say subjects that will bring people more into the continent and start seeing how, for example, the Africans in the diaspora can bring resources to the continent. Because the same way we have, I don't like to be racist in the comments, because the continent is not only about Black people, but we have Indians, we have colors, we have different, Africa is rainbow nation. And I think that the Africans in the diaspora, they should analyze how they can start bringing also money to the continent. How can they start also being investors in the continent? How can they start finding local partners in the continent? And I think that the Voice of Africa can play an important role in that. And I'm really I really hope that we can do that together, to find ways to start motivating Africans to start looking into Africa with different eyes. And I think that your platform can be really important on that. And that's me. I think that if DCK Global can partner with Voice of Africa and Voice of Africa with DCK Global, and we start building content to Africa and start making Africans proud of themselves, start making Africans aware of their potential and the potential of the continent, I think we start building the bridge that will put our continent here, Right. Here. We are already there, but we need to believe that we are there. And right. And I look forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely stay in touch on that and then bring that to fruition as well. I like that idea, and I think that's definitely something that we do have to do, is to enlighten our people and educate them on everything that they need as well. So yeah, thank you, Ms. Denise, for coming on our platform. It was a very insightful chat, and we're gonna do more, definitely.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to the next steps. Whatever you decide, remember I'm here, I'm in the continent, and I aim to continue supporting entrepreneurs and investors coming into the continent. Our platform, I call our because I have other people working with me. We are really, we have people from lawyers, from economists, from tax advisors, from different people from different sectors of activity, that we are really qualified to support business locally. And if you want to try us, cool. Definitely. Perfect.